Hey, good afternoon. Good happy Saturday to you. I know last week I was much earlier and I'm trying to have a consistent pattern, but for whatever reason, I had to wait around for the dryer technician today. Why is this? I'm trying to go live on Facebook at the same time and it's not letting me. What is happening here? Y'all, hold on one second. If you can see the title, you see today I want to talk about what is going on with parents and how they don't always trust our decision making as they age to like take care of them. And yeah, so okay, it looks like I might have to start my Facebook live over again. So hold on one second. I thought I was ready and apparently I was not. Okay, so here we go. Now it is. There we go. There we go. Here we are. So, hey everybody. Again, I'm starting. It's Danita Lynn. I'm here to talk to you about what is going on with our parents when they don't necessarily want to trust us to make decisions as they age. And what's interesting is I was thinking about this topic for a while because I've talked to a few people and a gentleman I was talking to last week who is new to caregiving and he's dealing with his dad who has signs of dementia and clearly not wanting to let go of the responsibilities that as a father he has been handling things, like if you have one of those dads who hold down, fix everything in the house, make sure that you have all that you have to do. Your dad is the provider, doing all the things. As he ages, he's still going to want to believe that he can fix those things. But what's going to happen is those things will sit and sit and sit. And you usually get frustrated. If the wife is still alive, the wife gets frustrated, that he said he was going to fix it and it's not done. And she might know he can't fix it, but he's still saying, no, I know I'm gonna get it, and doesn't want anybody to do it. So how do you handle that? How do you navigate that space where it's awkward because your dad is still insistent upon doing things, but you need to help get it done. Like dad is getting nice outside, right? And dad always cut the lawn, always made sure that everything was pristine. The the flowers were pruned, the trees were trimmed back, everything looked nice. But now dad isn't able to do it. But dad keeps saying, nope, I'm gonna get to it. Don't let nobody do it. And will flip out on you if you actually let somebody come in and do it. How do we how do we work with that? How do we work with mom? Mom is aging and probably shouldn't be driving anymore. Maybe her eyesight is going, and you noticed a few things the last time she was driving. She seemed a little bit more hesitant, and it doesn't feel safe. Um, People are driving more and more crazy these days. I promise you, it feels like they giving licenses out in bubblegum machines. But these people are not like they don't know that your mom is behind the wheel and they should be careful because she's a little bit cautious. None of that is coming into their, like people aren't thinking about that. But you are. So you're trying to convince mommy, please don't drive anymore. Let me take the keys. Or um, mom, hey, you've cooked your whole life. You've always been taking care of us as a family. We really appreciate everything that you've done. But, cooking is not safe anymore. Or what else could be? Something else could be. Maybe it's, decisions when it comes to medical care, right? Your parent has been going to the doctor by himself all this time or by herself. And the doctor has these conversations, tells it, okay, you need to cut back on this, you need to take these. And all of a sudden, your parent has a handful of pills, and they're like, yeah, the doctor told me to take all of this stuff. Well, what's it for, Ma? I don't know what it's for. What do you mean you don't know what it's for? Well, she told me, but I don't remember. Okay, so now I might need to start going to the doctor with you. But no, 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 I'm fine. I don't need you to go with me. I don't, nope. This isn't, I don't want all of that. Leave me, I can handle it. I don't need your input. All of these things can be really overwhelming for you as a child who's starting to see the changes in your mom, in your dad, and you don't necessarily know how to approach that situation because you don't want to come in like you're taking over. But you need to take over, truly. Like, what do you do? Do you just let your parent keep driving? Do you let your parent keep going to the doctor by herself and come home with a bunch of pills that you don't recognize and she doesn't know why the doctor said take them? Do you let your parent drive when it's not safe anymore? How do you handle that situation? It can be very taxing trying to figure out how to do all that. So, I just want to give a few suggestions because those can be, like very confusing. And if you have anything else, hi, if you're joining, thanks for joining. If you have anything else that you want to throw out there, something that your parent is like struggling, trying to hold on to, and you're trying to get them to give you a little bit more uh, input, allow you to be involved in the situation so they're not handling by themselves, please throw that in the comments. I want to talk to you about that. But what I'm saying is, as those things happen, what I found to be helpful for me is assuring my mother that she had raised me well. Because what I find out, your parent isn't reluctant to have you um, help out because they think that you won't do a good job. I believe that your parent is actually questioning themselves about how well of a job that they did raising you. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, okay, let's use this scenario. You have a child. Suppose if you have a child and you have a child who's now an adult, you know you don't have any input over the decisions that that child is making. And it can be stressful. I have heard from people my age who have adult children and they're like, oh God, please pray for us because we just out here trusting, hoping that our kids make the right decisions, hoping that we raise them right, hoping that they don't do something that gets them into a situation that they can't get out of, that we have to come in and clean up. That can be stressful, right? So that same level of stress that you're feeling towards your adult child, not having to, not be making sure that they make the right decisions or hoping that they don't get into a mess that you got to come in and clean up and it's going to cost you money, time, and energy. Those things are still on a parent's mind even when they get older. Just because a parent gets older doesn't mean they stop worrying about their child. Facts. When a parent is, whether a parent is 30, 60, or 80, that parent is still probably wondering, is my child okay? Is my child making good decisions? Is my child safe? They, are you home at night? Is everything, if something happens, they find out something happens in your neighborhood, they're going to be on the phone like, are you okay? Like, was that you? Okay, good. Still, that doesn't go away. So, because that doesn't go away, when they're losing their ability to care for themselves, it doesn't mean that they lose the ability to still care about you. So, because they're still caring about you while they are aging, they're wondering, did I make all the right decisions? Lord, did I teach them how to do that? Did I do I do oh man, I don't think they start second guessing themselves. And just like we second guess ourselves way too often, right? We don't know if we made the right decision. We don't know if we are positioning our children to have the best possible life because we know we were struggling trying to figure it out, right? Parenting, there's no handbook for your specific child. Yes, people are, good for saying, oh, well, the Bible is the handbook. Yes, the Bible is the handbook, but the Bible doesn't tell you about what your child did specifically and how to deal with that. So when your parent is older, they might be questioning, did I say that right? Did she really get that lesson? So that questioning that that parent has now of, did I do it right, translates into, can I trust my child to make this right decision for me? I still know best for me. I'm still the mama. I'm still daddy. I can make the decision. I don't need my child to do it for me. Because are you even equipped? Did I do enough to equip you to make a decision about me? So what happens is we have to figure out ways to give our parents the relief, show them, yes, you raised me well. You taught me to become a caring adult who wants to know that everybody around me, or that everybody around you is getting the best version of you. So that looks like an example. My mom, I was trying to get her to eat differently. Okay. She had been told that she had, high cholesterol. She was taking blood pressure medication. And I wanted her to eat less of the breads. She was eating a lot of bread. And oh yeah, she also was dealing with diabetes, but she had maintained diabetes for like 30 plus years with diet, meaning she ate well. So she didn't have to go on medication for diabetes. But she wasn't always watching that as she got older. So I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's plan your meals out. Okay. So you eat, if you have a piece of bread, that means you won't have something like macaroni and cheese in the same meal. Let's do protein, some type of vegetable, and a starch on like a treat day, if you will. Not a cheat day, but a treat day. And those types of things would be how we would plan her meals out. Go to the doctor, and the doctor say, oh yeah, so Miss Wheeler, I see you're doing this. I see you have we need to watch this level here. And they'll say, how are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Now, mind you, she did allow me to go into her medical appointments, but that was because she really was having a hard time hearing, and doctors were wearing masks. They didn't necessarily want to take them down, or even if they did, they might talk. And you know how if somebody's talking to you and then they turn away from you, then you don't hear them as well. That was happening. So I started saying, hey, can I come in the doctor's office with you to help you make sure you hear everything the doctor's saying? So those types of things changed that scenario. But the bottom line is there was still some pushback and resistance to having me be the one to make decisions for her. And one day she was, feeling herself, and she was like, I wonder how you got so smart. And if you know my mama, she said it just like that with her little neck rolling and everything. But she said, how you get so smart? And my response was immediately, I guess you just raised me right. And she couldn't say anything to that. She was like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, you actually did a good job. So it's okay for you to actually trust me to make a decision on your behalf, because you didn't screw up. You may feel like you made decisions as my parent and you didn't have all the things together, because who does? What parent is ever going to have all the answers. Nobody. We're not perfect in this thing, but we can do a really good job. But it doesn't mean doing a good job doesn't make us question what we've done, question if we made good decisions. So that level of questioning is what we have to try to put at ease when we are caring for our parent. When we get to the point where they now see, oh, I did okay. And maybe you should say, hey, Mom, you did a good job raising me. I actually know how to think for myself and I make good decisions and I can do them for you as well if you just allow me. Maybe have a heart to heart conversation where you look her right in her eyes and you say that. Or, Dad, you raised me well. You did a good job. I really believe that I have the tools necessary to be a successful person in this world because of what you did, and I thank you. You know how far gratitude can go? Maybe we should just say, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. You raised me well. You did a good job. I honestly believe that I have everything necessary to make myself successful in this world because of who you are and who you raised me to be. You are in me. So when I make decisions for you, I'm making a decision for you with what you put in me, and it is good. And maybe, just maybe, we might start to see a change in how receptive mom or dad is to us making those tough decisions. And we can still involve them. That's important too. If it's mentally possible, like if they still have the mental capacity, because sometimes, sometimes dementia makes it hard. And if that's a situation that you're dealing with, that is different. And you might have to just figure out ways to go with the flow and allow, ask, what do you want to do? Okay. And let them say what they want to do. But don't give them a bunch of options and a bunch of information because that gets overwhelming. Same as with a kid. If you have a child and you're like, okay, what do you want to wear to school today, baby? And you show them their closet and they're like, um, they can't make a decision. It's too many things in a closet. So what do you have to do? You pick two outfits that are reasonable for the weather for that day, and you pull those two outfits out and you say, "Okay, baby, which one do you want to wear?" And they say, "That one or that one." And you let them choose. And both of them are good decisions. So that's how we have to approach this thing with our aging parent. Instead of trying to give them all of this information and all of this stuff to make a decision, narrow it down, figure out how to make that thing condense and say, okay, we can either have this for dinner. This is a piece of chicken with a little bit of mashed potatoes as a treat and some broccoli, or we can have this piece of salmon here with a little piece of grilled bread and some asparagus. But both of them are good options. So you put them in a position where winning is the only option they have. Which one are you going to choose? And that's a minor example, but it's can be used globally. So if you use that kind of approach for the bigger things that they have to choose, if they're making a decision, then that will make it easier. And you can discuss them your mentality. Like, remember when you taught me this and we had the situation? Well, I kind of use that mindset to come up with this scenario here. Let them know, reassure them that they have done well in raising you, and therefore their trust in your decision making for their well being is a no brainer. All right. So I hope that helps you today. I hope that helps you like reframe how you approach things, and that you'll see more success in your efforts to parent your parent. Yeah. All right. So, so much love to you all today. Thank you for your time. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for your time. And if you have any other topics that you want me to discuss on a live, with the exception of, I won't be here next Saturday. I won't be live next Saturday, which is April 3rd, I think. Yes, April 3rd. I won't be live April 3rd. But on the subsequent Saturdays, if you have a topic you want me to discuss live, then feel free to drop it in the comments or send me a private message if that's an option for you. All right. So, so much love to you all today. Thanks for joining. Again, this is Danita Land, the Caregiver's Caregiver, showing you how to make caregiving a part of your life where you have more smiles than tears, because we know it can be grueling, but it doesn't have to be. All right. Y'all have a great day.